All right, my friends, welcome to episode 304 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. God, I can't even say my own Twitter handle. Over there's Anthony, the dev at Summer Speak on Twitter. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
Just end of a weekend, busy work weeks. Really enjoy the weekends.
God, yeah, man.
A lot.
It has been a good weekend, I agree.
Need that downtime.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been sunny up here, so that's good. Our last little spurt of summer, I think.
Before we limp into September.
Yeah. Hey, you probably get more sun than I do for longer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was rainy today, but it's mainly sunny down here.
Yeah.
Had a play date yesterday for my daughter with a COVID cautious family as well, and I was talking to the husband and found out that we both play video games and we like Critical Role,
Nice.
which was cool. And I was like, oh yeah, what kind of games do you play? And he told me kind of Apex and all these other things. I was like, oh cool, yeah, I'm really into games. Like I do a video game podcast, and the guy that I work with on the podcast codes for Astroneer, and his eyes got so big. Astroneer is one of my favorite games. I put 500 hours into that game. Every time there's an update, I replay it. So that was pretty cool.
Okay.
So you
little game that people know.
Yeah,
like,
dude, just some random guy in the park.
I am soft. Sometimes I will talk to people and they'll be like, "Oh, what do you work on?" Astroneer, and they're like, "I know that game." I'm like, that's such a weird feeling sometimes because
yeah, I bet
we're not Apex or Call of Duties or Battlefields or Maddens or any of these just the enormous franchises, but we have enough presence where this like 30-person team gets noticed.
But aren't you like the Call of Duty of your genre? Wouldn't you? Isn't it fair to say?
Is there a Call of Duty of the crafting survival? I kind of feel like Valheim is that right now.
Aren't you the Dark Souls of crafting survival?
There you go, Dark Souls. This is a Dark Souls-esque crafting survival game. Oh god.
I saw a new guitar today that is kind of like an update to the one that you have, that Roland. It has like a synth on board with like a touchpad, and like the whole fretboard is like you just I don't know what it's called, but you just fret it, and then you use the touchpad, and then you can do things with that note or that chord you're playing, even though you're not strumming.
Oh wow,
it's fucking cool. And there's tons of buttons like on the face of the guitar that you can tap out different things. And the first fucking comment on the YouTube channel was, I guarantee you someone is going to use this guitar to beat Dark Souls. Oh god, it was so funny.
100%.
Like, yes, gamers are everywhere.
I mean, didn't someone beat Dark Souls with a Rock Band controller? I think I watched some stuff on that.
I'm pretty sure someone also beat Rock Band with not Rock Band, fucking Dark Souls with the Donkey Konga thing.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Speaking of gamers being everywhere, gamers were in Germany, sort of, for games. Sort of. Gamescom happened. I think it's not happening anymore. I think it's over, but maybe I'm wrong. Is it? Okay.
It finished either today or Friday. I can't remember. Gamescom's a little weird on when it lasts, because there's historically in the past, when it's been an in-person event, there is like a lead-up time in the week where it's just like pure industry, and then it opens for a number of days to the public, and that's where they get hundreds of thousands of people showing up in Germany to play games, like way bigger than E3 ever here. It's like the biggest video game convention in the world.
But they weren't in person for that this year, right?
No, they weren't. They haven't been in person last year or this year.
Right, okay, great.
So they're like, no, screw that crap.
They're unlike PAX, they are not in person.
Oh.
Did PAX change it?
Aside to PAX. PAX is still happening in person, but they put up a schedule and they put up an exhibitors list. And I'll tell you, the exhibitors list is basically a giant list of companies that said, oh no, we're not ever going to PAX. And then all you're left with is the companies that clearly go to conventions because that's how they make money.
Right.
Like, Fangamer has a booth there.
Yeah.
Because they probably make a shit ton of money at the con season selling stuff to people. So most of the exhibitors are just places like that.
They're like vendors instead.
Straight up vendors. Namco Bandai was the only big, I put in quotes, publisher there. No one else.
What if these big publishers did show up and all there was TV screens?
That'd be hilarious.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're not actually putting any staff there. You can just watch the video.
Yeah, right. Like, you want to talk... We put up webcams, we're zooming, you can come ask us questions. We're not fucking there because we're not crazy.
Yeah.
Unlike y'all.
We're not infecting our company.
Yeah, exactly.
So Gamescom did take that similar route of being like, we're just doing this online. But they started with opening night live, hosted by Keeley. So.
Yeah, and that was has some big stuff.
It did actually.
Which is cool. What stood out for you?
I'm just gonna my number one thing that came out of that is Midnight Suns.
Oh yeah, me too.
They showed Firaxis logo and then Marvel, and then they did the actual trailer, and I was like, this looks badass.
It really does. Even though there's no gameplay, it's just like cool looking shit.
The only thing they say it was in engine though.
Oh, that's true.
It's like, this is not gameplay, but this is actually recorded using our engine and models and everything.
Right.
So this isn't like a CGI thing. Like, no, this is what our characters are generally going to look like in the game. But it is a Marvel tactical RPG set with you get to create your own character, the Hunter, and that's the woman that awakens from the coffin in the trailer.
Right.
And that's your character, and you get to design that character. And then you're surrounded by a bunch of other Marvel heroes, well-known and not as well-known. And it's just a tactical RPG that has, and the designer gave an interview and said it has, like, shares no mechanics, though, with XCOM.
Yeah, I saw that afterwards. Like, no, it's not going to be like XCOM, guys. Like, there's no permadeath. And so I saw someone say, I hate to tell you, but XCOM doesn't have permadeath because I save scum like a motherfucker.
Yeah, pretty much. XCOM doesn't have to have permadeath. And that interview was saying that was like, XCOM, the feeling you're getting is like, you should be afraid of everything coming at you. Like, XCOM is you're playing characters who are on their back foot.
Yep.
Fighting much harder. And they're like, no, when you're playing the Marvel characters, the enemies are afraid of you. Like,
I like that. It's like the power fantasy, right?
Yeah, it is pure power fantasy. But I was really surprised just seeing that they could have done something very straightforward, like thematically with Marvel. I'm like, oh, it's like the Square Enix Avengers game. Like, it generally flows with the movies. Like, they look a little Uncanny Valley to the movie versions of themselves, but right. They're not treading very new ground with that game. They're trying to adhere to, like, I would say the Marvel Cinematic Universe style of superheroes. Midnight Suns is not that. It's like, no, we're dark, we're dealing with demons. We're gonna throw some more, I don't want to say grit to it, but just like, this is not going for the normal vibe that we've seen out of, like,
the MCU,
Marvel games and the MCU in the past, like, decade.
Well, I feel like when you throw Wolverine in, just based on, like, even just Logan, right? Like, that throws the grit into the fucking gears instantly.
Yeah. And they're like, here's Blade, here's Ghost Rider.
Yep.
But still mixed with Iron Man's in there, Captain America's in there. So I don't know. Of all the trailers, this was the one that I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm here for this game. And I think sometime this week, I think the 1st, they are showing gameplay.
The 1st, yeah, September 1st. Yep. So that's just a couple days from now.
And I'm really curious. I mean, Firaxis makes good tactical games, so I'm here. I'm done. Like, give it.
2022 looks fucking rad because, like, the banner, the banner for Gamescom was basically everything's 2022. Get ready. And for me, like, yeah, this was almost number one for me. Number one reveal from this entire Gamescom opening night was that fucking April O'Neil is a playable character in Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It looks so fucking good, dude. She's like bashing people with her fucking microphone. She's dropping her mic. She's fucking doing combo attacks with the turtles. And that means, surely, that there are going to be a lot more playable characters.
Yeah, Casey Jones has to be coming, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Splinter, Casey Jones. God, fucking, I don't know. Like I forget what the fucking rabbit's name was.
Oh God.
Wow, what was that
But I
fucking
know,
rabbit's
like,
name?
Yeah, I would say either on launch or after, there should be probably decent plans for more playable characters.
Dude, DLC on this thing, like, I will just open our wallets, man. This looks fucking great. And that was such a cool thing. I walked into my wife was brushing her teeth, and I was like, I have to show you something, like, the coolest thing I've seen in, like, this whole month. And I show her the trailer, and April pops up, and she's like, really? It's like, yes, really. She's also a playable character in the Nickelodeon Brawler game, along with Cat Dog.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Like, of course, the Nickelodeon shared universe now.
Yes, exactly. It's cool.
That was cool. I was trying to think of the other stuff that I like really stood up. Cult of the Lamb.
Oh yeah.
It's so creepy, but it was. I mean, it's kind of like a mix between Don't Starve and Binding of Isaac.
Isn't it Devolver? Or am I making?
Yeah, Devolver's the publisher.
Okay.
Again, of course, if it's Devolver, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
They announced. I'm trying to think of other things that they announced. Saints Row, which I'm never played any of the Saints Rows.
Yeah, and the Saints Row. God, was it 3? Saints Row remastered, maybe? Whatever. It's free on Epic right now. So if you never played it,
I can pick it up. Yeah, I'd have to play that.
Yeah.
Is Saints Row the game? I think it was for 3, where they mailed dildo bats to everybody.
Surely, yes. That sounds on brand.
Probably. Yeah.
It's basically like GTA with like superpowers, right?
Yeah, super. Honestly, just like kind of superpowers. Everything's plausible. Dirty humor everywhere. Yeah, I don't know if the reboot's necessarily going to be like that. And I also now I'm like, well, that's just GTA 5 at this point.
Yeah, right. That's true.
As I talked to my brother-in-law, he's like, oh yeah, you can get like flying cars and everything, and I'm like,
fucking GTA 5, really? Jesus.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell is this game? I'm not even interested anymore at all. But it's just like, he's like, oh yeah, there's no semblance of any kind of realism to it anymore. Like, just do crazy shit. So I don't know where Saints Row fits into that world anymore. Like, oh yeah, we got a release date for Halo Infinite.
Yeah. Okay, so December 8th, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not super confident in December games anymore. Like, they're trying to hit the holiday, like, pay.
No, they're gonna hit this. I'm pretty sure.
I know
That's why
but
they're not shipping.
Is it gonna be good though?
Features. I don't know.
That's like I guess gun shy from Cyberpunk, but like I feel like the big titles that like have to hit this holiday no matter what, they push to December to give as much time as possible, and they're still really not ready. This should be pushed till next year. You know?
It clearly should.
It should. They should push it and have everything come out.
Just from the standpoint of like, hey, you can't do co-op campaign and we're not shipping the Forge. It's like, well,
yes.
Then the game's not really done.
Yes, exactly.
To be honest. Like, that's not. Those are some pretty important features for a Halo game. But yeah, they're like, we clearly have to put this out.
It feels like an interesting void though, because there's not a lot coming out around the holidays this year. Like, they could be the thing people want to play because there's nothing else.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely, I think, something that's going to happen there. But again, is it going to be good? I don't know. What else was exciting from here? You mentioned Turtles.
Elden Ring had some previews around this time.
It did. It sounds like Breath of the Wild, Dark Souls.
It fucking does. That's the first thing I thought as well. I think some people had said that as well.
Yeah.
Like the interconnectedness. I saw one person. I think maybe it was Miyazaki or someone who's in the interview was like, "Yeah, we wrote the text." Like, I wrote the text or whatever, not George R. R. Martin. And people were like, what? I thought Martin was writing a text. Like, no, he was helping them, like, flesh out the lore. He's not fucking writing the shit in the game. He's not writing flavor text.
Yeah, he was brought on to consult with creation of the world. And probably did write, not for stuff in the game, but probably helped with the lore Bible.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, for a fact.
Reference, but.
Yeah, there's certainly siblings that are fucking in this game. I will just spoil that right now.
Oh, boy.
You're welcome.
I'm interested in this game, I will say. Like, it intrigues me. So we'll see if this is a FromSoft game. I try again. Let's see if they can do it.
I don't vibe with FromSoft games. I'm pre-ordering this game just because I'm that much of a loser for George R. R. Martin. And also fucking Zelda. Like, mix all that shit up like that. If you do it right,
let's see what happens.
Let's roll the dice.
That was the other thing, because you're talking about the February, like 2022-ish time being stacked. That end of January to like March is insane. Horizon Forbidden West got a date of February 18th.
Right. And they stealth released a 60 FPS patch for Horizon. On
yes, they did.
PS5.
I download that.
I just turned on my PS5 and it started downloading. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I went and looked. I was like, oh shit, great. Maybe I should play this all in one coherent timeline so I understand what's happening.
So, I mean, the thing is with Gamescom, like, there's a few of those reveals, but it was a lot of stuff we had already seen before, which is fine. I guess they did do Call of Duty Vanguard, which I really wish that there had been a call to be like, we're not putting Activision stuff on stage. But
exactly. Right. And wasn't
they
this...
did.
Was I talking
Laura
to you?
Bailey was on stage for this, because she's the voice of one of the main characters.
Who was on stage?
Laura Bailey.
Oh, good fucking damn it, Laura.
I mean, this is... I'm sure she recorded and did all her stuff years ago.
I just... I was talking to you or Travis or somebody... Was this trailer without Activision's logo on it?
I don't know, actually. I don't...
Because I had heard that they had pulled their logo off of something they had released, and I didn't know if it was this.
I don't know. I didn't... Because I didn't really watch the trailer. I watched... It was during the opening Night Live thing. It was less a trailer, and it was like... Laura Bailey was there, and like the... head of Sledgehammer, or designer from Sledgehammer, because they're the ones making this game. Yeah. And they were showing the character that Laura plays, which is a real person that existed in World War II. It was a nurse, Soviet nurse, who was in Stalingrad, and who I've read about before, like super behind line spy kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they showed kind of like her intro mission stuff in Stalingrad. Again, beautiful game, always beautiful. That way.
For sure.
There's definitely a okay, well, Activision, sweet. It is funny though that we have Call of Duty going back to World War II for their next version game, and we have Battlefield going to 2042.
Right, they're like
the future,
swapping places.
Because they're like so Vanguard is set to launch on November 5th,
right?
2 weeks after Battlefield 2042. So we're getting that
head-to-head.
Head-to-head again.
Yeah, but Call of Duty is going to have a campaign, right?
It does. It does have a campaign.
Right, and the other one doesn't.
It seems like it's 4 character. Yeah, I don't know what 2042 is going to have.
No campaign. It's multiplayer only.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep, 100%.
There you go.
Yep.
Because other Battlefields have had campaigns, so.
Mm-hmm. No, they announced it a while ago that wasn't going to have a campaign.
Okay.
So.
I mean, it's true. What do people play those games for the most part? They play them for that just absurd, huge multiplayer.
Well, but we had talked last week, or a week before, about I forget what mode it was, where you can create your own shit.
Portal.
Yeah.
The Portal mode.
Yeah. Mm.
I mean, they're just all in on that now. They're just like, this is a platform for people to just make and play crazy, crazy stuff. So,
right.
I mean, people won't have the Halo Forge to do it, so
Right.
I guess it's gonna work out well for them.
Yeah, that's a
I think.
boon for them for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I enjoyed watching through that. Is there anything else that was huge? There's some Far Cry 6 stuff. Meh.
Just the dates like Skywalker Saga. I think it's
Right.
spring 22 as well. It looks great, obviously.
Yeah, it looks funny. I'll be honest. Like every Lego game, they're so simple, but they're really enjoyable. Oh, I just realized actually coming in October, Age of Empires 4.
Oh, right.
Wasn't that interested in Age of, like, the last one I played was like 2, and that was a long time ago. But I didn't realize the developers making Age of Empires 4 is Relic, who did the Warhammer 40k Dawn of War games back in the day.
Oh,
Like, they make some of my favorite RTSs ever, and I didn't realize they were making this, so that immediately kind of put it on my radar a little bit. Probably not a day one. Maybe I could just do a Game Pass for it, though. I'm sure it's going to show up on Game Pass. It's a Microsoft game, right? It's always on Game Pass.
oh yeah, it's PC Game Pass. I don't think it'll be on console, but that doesn't matter for you at all.
No. So, but Relic make very good RTS games. So that was exciting. Valheim had some more stuff. Oh yeah, the Valheim thing was weird. Did you watch that trailer?
I did not. The Hearth and Home.
Yeah, because it's not actually anything in the game. It's like a full-on animated trailer.
Oh shit! No, I didn't.
It's just a weird thing where you're like, oh, that's weird. You didn't actually tell me anything about the update, but that's a cool piece of animation. But it comes out in a couple weeks. Their first major update after selling 7 million copies.
Yeah, I'm pulling up now. Starts off with a night in the city. That looks pretty cool, but nothing like what I see in the game.
Nope, nothing at all.
No, yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, it was like, that's an odd choice. I guess at some point you're just like, yeah, people know what our game looks like. Let's just make something cool.
Oh my god, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong fucking trailer. I'm an idiot. Let me try again. There it is. I'm not even going to tell you what I was looking at.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you see dragons in this one.
Uh,
And, like...
you put like, what, 30 hours into this game?
Or more. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I killed 3 bosses.
Mm-hmm.
So, when the update comes out, I'll probably play it again. Why not?
Yep.
Like, it's...
That's anime.
Yeah, that's basically what I was like, huh. Odd choice.
Maybe they're hinting that they're going to have an anime.
They could at this point.
Yeah. Got the dragon head carrying it down the mountain. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, in general, though, I was pretty okay with Gamescom stuff. Like I said, it more than anything just solidified that there's not a huge amount coming this holiday season. It's all Q1 2022 is when most games are coming out. Most big games.
I'm so excited about that because this semester is going to grind me into dust. So next semester, when I come up for air, there'll be some really cool shit to play.
There are going to be some really cool shit to play.
Yeah.
It's super exciting. I think already now I'm like, okay, January. I guess I probably won't get Elden Ring right off the bat. But there'll probably be reviews and stuff. Enough for me to understand what the game's going to be before coming out. But if it sounds good and I can kind of alleviate some of my issues with the Souls games, it's probably a day one if I can get some info on that.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. Is I keep thinking I'm going to pre-order it, but that means like a week out. And if previews are early enough, like this preview cycle sounded really positive. But if it's just like this is the game, like I'm, like if they say Breath of the Wild one more fucking time.
And then February is Forbidden West,
right?
And then March is Midnight Suns for me. That sounds great.
That's a really
that's solid. Yeah. So I think that's just what Gamescom solidified for me, um, more than anything.
Well, and there's no Breath of the Wild 2 incoming.
Nope.
It's probably next fall. So
At earliest.
yeah. So,
And I honestly, Nintendo will take however much time they want to take on it. Like,
we're selling tons of Switches. We don't need to get this out.
yeah, exactly. And I do truly believe that they are a company that is like, it does us more harm to put a game out that isn't ready.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Because they just know they don't need to. Like,
Right.
They're like, no, people expect us to have high quality, so we better give it to them.
Yep.
Don't damage our brand. So,
Yeah, totally
yeah.
true.
Yeah. Exciting times, though. I'm ready for some more big games.
Yeah, it's been a fulfilling gaming year, but nothing on the level that we've experienced recently. For obvious reasons, it's fine, but
Yeah. So, yeah, with that, what have you been playing?
honestly, Metopia.
Oh, jeez.
Metopia with my daughter. Every
With your,
morning that we play.
Superstar group.
Yeah, Dave Grohl, Taylor Hawkins, David Bowie, Gwen Stefani. I think she wants Rami Jaffe. Next.
Okay.
Rami Jaffe or who'd she say? It doesn't matter. But we cleaned up just the whole demo. It's like a 3 or 4 hour demo, man. So you can get plenty of opportunity to figure out if it's a game for you or not. But then at the end of the demo, you get to like the next land or whatever, which is like the castle. And you get to the castle, it's like, can't come in. So we had to go figure out how to get in. You get like the letter from the mayor or whatever, and you bring it up, and it says, congratulations, you got the letter from the mayor. You can come in when you buy the full game. And here's a link to the e-store. So I bought it immediately.
Nice.
Good job, Nintendo. You got $50 out of me that I wasn't planning to spend. Sometimes I wait until there's some sort of a discount, but I did not do that here. And we kept playing, and I'm just letting her. Again, it's just activating like my like OCD or something, where like just I want to collect everything and like complete everything, and like sweep 2 or 3 times to make sure everything's completed before we move on to the next area. Because every little like node on the overworld, when you go in, you have like paths you can take, like the more difficult, easier, or like go toward a treasure chest, go toward a beach, or whatever. But then if you take one, so then you have to go back and take the other one to fully clear it. And I want to clear it so that we can level up, get it, everything, all the, items or whatever. And then there's the mechanic of the game is that the main bad guy takes people's faces. So you're trying to rescue the faces by defeating enemies, and it frees the face and it goes back to whoever owned it. So there's like main characters whose faces are missing. Like the king got his face taken, so you got to like help the king out. And we open up to the next world, and we can go straight up to get the king's face. And my daughter's like, nah, let's just keep going to the next world. I want to see what's next. It's like, we got to save him and get, like, I'm sure there's some really cool item we're going to get. No, she just wants to keep going. So I'm just letting her lead. And it's a game, I'm sure it's designed this way, but it's a game that you really can play the whole game by just pressing A. Every once in a while, you got to, the menu, like, choose a different skill or whatever. But my daughter wanted to play, so I let her play, and she, was fine. And then she learned how to use the menu. So she's like, when Dave Grohl comes up, she switches from attack to spells, and then she chooses either one is called Earworm, where you sing a song and distract the enemies or whatever, or you a skill called Encore, which lets one of your teammates go again. It's kind of like Dancer in Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah.
And she knows how to navigate to the menu, and then in the sub-menu navigate to which one she wants. She can't read them, but she knows the first one is Encore, the second one is the other one, and so she's just like navigating the menus and going. Yeah, it's great. So we're playing that, and then the other thing that she's also obsessed with is Lego World. So what we do in Lego World is either dig a hole in a mountain and make like a home cave where like she has a shower, I have a shower, we each have beds, we all go to sleep together, or we're building like walkways in the sky where we then build 2 showers, 2 beds, and sleep. Like that's what she wants to do.
Those are important things.
Yes, she's so focused on those 2 things. But man, Lego World is janky as fuck. but it's fun. It really is janky, man. Like in terms of like the way to get into the menus or whatever. My wife wants to fucking kill me. Oops, sorry, I just smashed my mic. Jesus, sorry, folks. My wife, I need to get a shock mount very badly. She wants to kill me because sometimes when she comes down, I'll pass the controller to her when I go make breakfast on my mornings. And my daughter, sometimes when she's cognizant of that switch off, she'll play a game that my wife can play. She's like, let's play Mario Kart so mommy can take the controller later. Great, okay. No, Lego Worlds is impossible for my wife to figure out. Because it's not only like press X or press triangle to open a menu, but you got like hold triangle and then use the left stick to navigate to something and then hit X and all this. It's a little convoluted. And to find what you need is sometimes convoluted. Really convoluted. I think it would be better as a PC game than on a gamepad, to be honest. But it's just the UI is like, this could have used some more polish. And I know it was in beta for a long time. I thought it was in early access for a while. It was? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But get past that, and it's just like it's Legos in a virtual space, and it's awesome. And she's loving that. So we played both those things. This is my first week back at school, and it's been teaching's been great. Students have been great. Like, that part of my job is awesome. Everything else has been a fucking like hellscape on fire. So I haven't had much time to play. I've been doing some music, and that's about it. We're wrapping up an EP that's coming out. It was going to come out in about a week, but I think we're going to delay it a week. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. What about you? What have you been playing?
Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, Jesus, why did I even ask?
I know. I'm like, why? Yep, I made it through Stormblood, the expansion Stormblood. I finished that last night.
Nice.
All right, so I've now rolled credits 3 times in the game. Because you roll credits every time you finish an expansion.
Right.
So yeah, I played through that. Still loving it. Working through the post expansion patches before getting to what is currently the last expansion that's out. I'm loving it. I just found, weirdly, this is for me the exciting thing, because I knew Stormblood was partially designed by Yasumi Matsuno, who was the designer of Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy XII. He had left Square for Final Fantasy XII, but he came back on as a contractor to help them design stuff for this expansion.
Oh, that's cool.
And I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but there's 3 24-person raids, and you can use their in-game finder to get groups for it. But those 3 raids are Final Fantasy XII and Final Fantasy Tactics inspired raids. And they
my god,
put them into the world of Final Fantasy XIV. Like the story of Final Fantasy Tactics is contextualized as it's a fairy tale that is told to children, the Zodiac Brave story. And so like there's all sorts of weirdness going on there about like entering a play, basically, are these worlds that you're going into. But I'm like, oh man, this could be a lot of fun to play through that.
That's super cool.
But I'd have to get up the courage to do the finder and say, all right, I wanna play with 23 other people that I don't know, and hopefully they can do the mechanics and I can do the mechanics.
Right.
But I will say that I'm actually playing a healer now for as long. Healing in this game is fun.
Really? That's good.
Like, I'm playing White Mage, which is very stereotypical healer, but now that I just have like a ton of different abilities, man, my healing is just really cool about how I have to stay on top of everything, I guess. It's like, it doesn't feel like during dungeons and stuff that I'm just sitting around like, oh yeah, just keep pressing the heal. It's like, no, I have like a dozen different abilities that I'm juggling, but it keeps me very focused and active and like throwing stuff to different people and different buffs and shields, and while also using abilities that keep my mana up. So I don't know, they've done a good job about scaling players into that, because it doesn't start feeling that complicated. But I'm at level 72 now, so I have the toolkit.
Right.
And it's fun. I'm having a blast. Story's still great. Loving it. Great characters. I don't know. It's everything I've been saying. And I probably will be continuing to play this next week. I am going to get through the content that is out for this game.
Yeah, it really hasn't hit a point where you're like, yeah, now it's kind of No, it seems to be getting better and better, which is what I've always heard about this fucking story, at least.
Yeah. Yep, and I did my playtime last night when I finished Stormblood's main when I rolled the credits and got everything. It was 210 hours to get there so far.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Wow. That's cool.
On this game, yeah. So I bet I'll be at somewhere around 260-ish when I finish everything. And then I'll decide if I'm going to do anything else in the game or if I'll just wait until November for the expansion.
Oh man, I can see you totally waiting. Getting to that point, being like, I want the new story, but I'm not gonna
do other things in it because I'm skipping a ton of side stuff.
Right.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That everyone that I have talked to, they're like, oh, the side stuff is actually really good. It has a really good story stuff that ties back into the main story. I'm like, don't tell me that. I don't need to know that.
Because then you're gonna go back and do it.
Yeah. But it's cool. That's really all I've been playing. I'm trying to think if I touched anything else. No, I've been trying to get this thing to work for a Diablo 2 mod that came out, Median XL.
I don't know it.
It's a huge, they just came out with their 2.0 thing, and it's an overhaul modification for just regular old D2. They change classes and skills and tons of new items and put a whole in-game to it.
Oh, wow.
New crafting system, lots of quality of life changes. But I'm getting errors when I try to install it.
Oh.
So, not so fun.
Yeah. Hopefully they fix
that. And
that.
I can't figure out why, what. Because clearly lots of people are playing.
Oh, so it's on your side something's going on.
It is on my side, and I'm just like, why am I getting a JavaScript error thrown when I held the Median XL launcher to install the fan patch? It's just like, no, I won't do it. I'm like, fuck. Because one thing that Diablo 2 Resurrected did come out and say they will not have is that will not have mod support because it's always connected online.
Right.
And so you miss out on a lot of this stuff. And people were kind of bummed about it because they were hoping that they would just put a layer on top of it and that these mods could theoretically just work.
Give your game some legs, although I don't care. It has legs.
Don't care, but it definitely was one of the things of being like, well, you're missing. And it's an unfortunate thing to just feel like, okay, I guess now to play the game you always have to have an internet connection, which was not D2. It was the quintessential LAN party game.
Right.
If no one had internet, it's like, whatever, we're just playing this.
Yep.
Over the LAN.
Oh, those were such fun nights, man.
Never were fun nights, god damn it. So, I was bummed. I was really curious how this one worked out. It just has a lot of cool quality of life stuff and new items, and now that it had made it to its 2.0, it had I was seeing a lot of buzz around it, being like, yeah, it's changes a lot of cool things, basically, and revitalizes that old game.
Sounds like it does, but you don't get to play it.
No. I did download the installers and then take screenshots of my keys so I never have to log in again.
Oh, that's good. Nice.
So I can just squirrel those away and be like, cool, I never actually have to go back to Battle.net again. And they make it hard to find Diablo 2 and Warcraft 3. I'll tell you that.
I bet.
The old games, yeah. I'm just like, God, just give me the installers. I don't have a CD-ROM drive anymore, so I can't install them for my discs. So, yeah.
I guess you could get an external for cheap, and if you really needed to.
At this point, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I probably should at some point, because I do have a bunch of games that are only on disc.
I put one in my tower just because it was cheap to install, and I was like, I'm probably going to use this at some point.
My tower doesn't even have an area for it.
Oh, wow.
Like, my front panel doesn't have
Yeah.
drive-ins. So,
Mine does.
yeah, I gave up a long time ago
Yeah.
on that. So, no, that's all I tried to play, but I'll probably just continue playing Final Fantasy XIV, because I've been keeping myself focused on that. Every time I get like, oh, I could go play this other thing. It's like, no, focus on 14. Just get through it.
Yep. That's why I think when you're done, you'll be done for a bit until the next story.
Probably.
You like variety sometimes. That's a lot of hours.
I do. It is a lot of hours. But happy to do it.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. To be invested in a long story in a video game sounds amazing.
I know. Everyone says is, at least to what's been released, ends good. So
That's awesome.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
We talked about Gamescom and some games we've been playing. If you like our podcast, please rate us on your podcast service of choice. This has been episode 304 of Prof and Dev Play Games. He is at SummerSpeak. I am at Prof Plays Games. And we will see you next week when we are talking about, and I'm always going to say this, the next Nintendo Direct.
Sure.
Why not? All right, folks. See you later.
Later. Cool. I think we got a while for Direct. Oh, that was the other trailer that was in there we didn't talk about. There was a Dread trailer that got released.
Oh, that's right. There was a Dread trailer. That was a really nice trailer.
But it wasn't part of Gamescom. Like, they just released it.
Right.
Like, it wasn't an opening night live.
But it was in the time frame, like the same day.
Yeah,
right?
Clearly it was in the time frame, but Nintendo's like, no, we'll just do it ourselves.
It looked fucking cool. It really did.
It does. Yeah, I mean, of course I'm going to play it and everything. I still watch it. I'm just like, God, this was totally a 3DS game originally.
Oh yeah, totally.
This was basically did the Samus Returns thing, and they're like, we're going to do another one.
Yep.
And at some point they're like, we can just do this for Switch instead.
Put some cutscenes in it.
Yeah, cutscenes, because it seems like it has roughly the same kind of mechanics.
It does. They've added some stuff to it, but it's really very similar. It's cleaned up, obviously.
The punch mechanic, like the they called that thing.
Well, there's like what it was, but like some sort of arm cannon thing where like it's like some sort of wave based thing. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
What it did. Oh, it, like bounced around or something like that. It was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's October, right?
It is October. Yep. That's really seemed like a month and a little bit over a month away.
I think that's my goal. See if I can do Final Fantasy XIV until that comes out.
Yeah. I'm sure you will be able to.
And that will be a nice transition into that.
Awesome. Well, I accidentally hit the wrong button, so I never stopped recording. So thanks for listening to our podcast. We added some Metroid Dread to the end, and we'll see you next week.